Hello friends, in this episode we will see how can we export and import a Docker image. So for that what we'll do, we'll create a Linux based instance and we'll install Docker in that, and we'll try to create a container from a image from get Apache image, and then we'll, we'll try to modify the container. We'll commit the changes so that a new image file will be created, and we will try to export that new image file. At the same time, we will also see how can we copy this uh, tar file, the exported file of our Docker image, to S3 bucket, and then how can we import the file tar file into a Docker image. So let me quickly try to create an instance. So what I have done is that I was already logged in into my Amazon console account, and I clicked on launch instance. Let me give some name. So I'm giving some name here. I'll have MX Linux, Amazon Linux, sorry, Amazon Linux AMI. I'll have T2 Micro. Let me create a new key pair. Some name .ppk, so that I can use that file directly input in my putty. The key has been created. Let us click on launch instance. So as we all know, it may take a minute or so to have instance ready. So meanwhile, what we'll do, we'll click on view all instances, and let us check dashboard instance running. I don't see the instance running, right? So let me, so I see test machine. Yeah, this is the one. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this IP address, and I'll just try to have my putty system ready. So for that, putty open, I'll have this IP address copy paste, SSH auth. Same process, we'll just try to locate the correct key file. So test machine, that is our ppk file, that is private key file. Make sure you give the correct private key file. And let us change the appearance also. Let us make it font as bold. And let's see. Let's try to open. Accept. So as you see, the instance is up and running, and we are into that instance. So my username is EC2 user. No changes in the username. Let me come back to root user sudo su. Let us update this system with the packages. So yum update, sorry, -y. It will take some time to have system updated with the latest packages, right? So this is the normal process we have to do whenever uh, we start working on a particular machine. So always make sure that you update the system with the latest packages. So it's a simple command, yum update -y. If at all you are into root user, so no need to use sudo. Otherwise, you can have sudo yum update -y. So that also works, right? So let me check. Okay, so it got updated. Control L, or you can say clear also, right? So to clear the screen. So what I'll do now, I'll install the Docker here. So yum install Docker. Okay, asking for yes no prompt. Docker is getting installed now. So once you install Docker, just make sure to start the service, because if you don't start the service, you're not able to see the rather you're not able to work on that Docker image. So let me clear the screen again, and let us start the service. So service Docker, very simple command. I'll just copy paste this commands in the video description as well. So service got started. Let us see if we have any images or not in this machine. Docker images have -a, no images. Let us see the containers. So for containers, Docker ps -a, We don't have any containers. So let us try to create a container now. So the command would be docker create name. Let us give some name. So I'm giving name as give any name. So I'm giving Apache base. And what I'll do, I'll just try to map port 80 of my host machine with this container machine port, rather container image port 80. So that is the reason I've given minus p 8080, and then I'm using this Tomcat Apache image. So as you see, it says that unable to find image. So the image was not present locally. So what Docker engine does, like generally they try to find it the image locally. If that image is not present locally, it it went to Docker Hub and downloaded the image from there, right? So let us check whether image got installed or not. So Docker images, yes, the image is there. Let me clear the screen and let us check the container. So same command again. So I see there is a container because this is the one we have created, right? So as you see that status is created, so we need to start that container also. So for that the command is docker start and then container name. I'll just copy paste the container name so that there will not be any typo error. So it got started. Let us check the whether the container is up and running. So what I'll do, I'll just copy the IP address and I'll try to access the port 80 because we enable the port 80, right? So I don't see any page here because we did not open the port 80 of our instance security group, right? So what we have to do, go back to instance and modify the security group. So what I did, I went back to my instance in my console. Uh, I selected the security group and I am modifying the inbound rules, edit inbound rules. I'll have to add rule as a STPP, right? That is port 80. So STPP 80, I'll have anywhere IP and then I'll save it. The moment you save it, just see it works, right? So I can see the default page of my container. So container is up and running. So what we'll do, we'll just try to modify this container and we'll try to create a image from that modified container. So for that, let me clear the screen first and let me create a sample file. So I'm into vi index.html. I'll have this sample file created, HTML file, right? So HTML simple file. I'll have a header. Welcome Docker. Right. And let me close the bracket. HTML. Let me come out from this. Escape :wq. File got saved. Let us verify. File has been created. Let us copy this file. So what I'll do, cp command index.html. I'll copy in my container, right? So what container name was Apache base. Make sure that you give the correct container name, colon, and the path. So path is user for Tomcat Apache local Apache 2 htdocs. It gave me some error. So let us check what went wrong here, right? So Apache base was our file. So what is the error basically? I did not use the docker command, so I'll have to use docker cp. I use cp only, right? Copy. So copy will not work because copy will be your Linux command. So you need to give docker copy. So we forgot to mention the docker command. So docker cp and same thing. So again index.html. I'll just copy paste. Now the file got copied, right? There is no error. Earlier there was error because I forgot to mention that docker command. Okay. Now let us commit the changes. or before that we'll see whether the file got copied in our container or not. So since we modified the index.html, let us go back to browser and let us refresh the browser, and you see that, welcome to Docker. So whatever changes we modified, that is getting appear as well. So all good. So what we'll do, we'll just commit the changes. So docker commit, and give some name now. So name of your container, so apache base, right? So it got changes got committed as well. Now let us see whether any image got created or not. So now I see there is one image got created, newly image got created, right? And this there is no tag to this image. So what we'll do, we'll just give a tag also, so that it will be easy for us to identify our image. So to give tag, docker tag, you have to mention the tag ID. So this is the image tag ID. You can mention 3 characters also, or you need to copy the entire image ID, or else you can mention 3 characters. That is, in our case, it will be 3df. But I'm just copying the entire image ID, and give some image name. So let us give Apache base image, right? And let us see whether it is getting reflected or not. So Docker images. So as I see that it got reflected, so I was able to tag my image. So all looks good till now. Now how do we export this image? To export, the command is docker export, and you need to mention or docker, the command is docker save, because we need to export, right? So docker save your image name, and bracket, greater than bracket, give some name. So this would be apache base image.tar file I am creating now, right? So this is, I am trying to export the image to a tar file. So it may take time, depends upon your image size. So as you see, it did not give an error, and then tar file has been created. Now as I mentioned initially, what we'll do, we'll try to copy this tar file in our S3 bucket. So for that we need to configure the CLI first. So how do we configure? AWS configure, and you need to give the key ID and password. So key ID password would be, go to your um, console account, and top you need to go to security credentials, and copy the access key ID and password. So make sure that generally we don't share this access key ID and password, but for the demo purpose I'm showing this, and once this the task is done, I'll disable this key ID as well. So let me create a new access key, copy, right? What is the private key? That was the key ID. And what is my secret access key? I'll copy the secret access key. I'll have it. And my default region is US East 1. I'll have format as JSON, right? So all looks good. So the CLI has been configured now. So let us come back and try to create a bucket. So to try to create a bucket, so the command would be AWS S3 make bucket. So let us try to create a bucket now. So let us give some name, Apache base image, right? So bucket got created. How can we make sure the bucket got created? ls aws s3 ls, right? I can see there is a bucket got created. Now we need to copy our tar file. So what is the tar file name? So to copy, you need to mention aws s3 cp. That is very important. aws s3 cp. So cp would be in copy command, but if you want to access s3 bucket via cli, so aws s3, and then copy the tar file name, right, and the path would be your bucket name. Let's see. So it is getting copied. It got copied. So let us confirm. Let us go back to our console page, right? Dashboard. Let us go back to console. So, right, S3. So I'm into S3 buckets. So we should be able to see the tar file in our bucket. So let us go inside. That was the bucket name we have created, apache-base, right? And then I could see that tar file is got copied as well, right? So what we see till now, we exported a file, rather exported the image into tar file, and we copied the tar file in the S3 bucket. Now how do we import it? To import, the command is very simple: docker import and your tar file name. So let us use the same tar file name, and let's see whether image got imported or not. As you see that it got imported, how can we confirm? Docker images -a. You see, there is one new image got created. So this is the one from import. It got created. So what we saw in this video, we were able to export a Docker image into a tar file. We copied a tar file via CLI to our S3 bucket, and at the same time, we also saw that how do we import a tar file into Docker image, right? So what I'll do, I'll just copy this all these commands in the video description, and please try it your end, and let me know in the comment section if you face any issues. Yeah, thank you.